It's 5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BCTV's Nightly News Roundup. I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden, and this is a stripped-down edition of 5:45 Live. Still plenty of news, so we'll get right into it. We'll look at FEMA's ice skating rink operations center and what they had to say about it on Sunday, as well as at last night's info update meeting here in this very building. We'll also get footage from last night's select board meeting as well. We'll look at what's been happening at the Brattleboro Farmers Market, a story of hope here from BCTV Access Coordinator Frederick Noyes. We'll look at NEYT as Technical Director Rick Barron explains their floodgates and how they were put to the test. Our BCTV schedule, quick glance and calendar coverage, all that and more coming up. And remember, we do it in just 15 minutes, so stick with us.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
A 5:45 Live Extra of WTSA's Tim Johnson singing the national anthem at last weekend's Colonels football game where they upset rivals Essex. And moving right along, FEMA has been busy as they announced Windham County residents are now eligible for support. They've opened a disaster recovery center at the ice skating rink at Living Memorial Park, and they were in town yesterday for an informational flood update meeting.
We're opening up a disaster recovery center here in Brattleboro. We're telling folks if you suffer damages, make sure you register with FEMA. You may be eligible for federal help. And the way you register is calling the 1-800 number. Can I give that number?
Please do.
1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362. Or you can go online to disasterassistance.gov and apply that way. Or you can even use your smartphone at m.fema.gov.
It's crucial, any paperwork you get from FEMA and our application, that you send it in, because there's no cost, no obligation, but if you think you might have need assistance, even if you have damage and you don't feel like you need anything, there might be mold later that you didn't know about. There might be reasons that you're going to want to be in the system and have that option available to you.
You basically fill that form out stating who you are, how to contact you, and that's very important. It asks for contact information because I know a lot of you may not be living in your homes right now.
And before we go any further with the headlines, Marble Arvidsson, local teen BUHS student, still missing. We're going to put his photo up now. Call his family's first mentor, Julie. You can see the number on the screen there. We'll have more information as we get it. We can only hope that the information we get is good news. Anybody with any information, please call. There have been search teams out, and we can only hope that this ends well. Next, 5:45 Live senior news correspondent Teresa Maggio has been trekking up and down Route 30 getting some information from our outlying towns. We've got that footage as well.
Jamaica is the new terminus of Route 30 because their bridge broke during the storm. And gravel trucks screamed around.
How did you get out of there?
Okay, this was fun. It was really nice. The guys came around with ATVs, and there was something like 15 or 20 people that we went up to the top of the hill behind our house. There's a road that goes up there, Metcalf Lane, and we all went up there and they assembled, and they brought us down by ATVs, and my wife was in a Honda Jeep with a trailer behind, and when we got down, she says, "It's not Disneyland."
It was a busy weekend on Flat Street as businesses began to put the pieces back together. We stopped by the New England Youth Theater.
We have about 60 volunteers here who are clearing up, pruning, weeding, mulching, sweeping. Unbelievable volunteerism and cooperation, and just a wonderful, wonderful sense of the importance of this place to the community.
And from there, we moved on to the Flat Street Bar and Grill, where they were working outside, and got a tour of the tap room downstairs.
water came in the downstairs, which is the Taproom restaurant, on Sunday at about 2 o'clock, I guess, and took in about 6 feet of water there. So the damage down there is pretty devastating, to say the least, and it's left behind about 6 inches of mud. All the tables and chairs got pushed into toward that hallway. They're all jammed up against the bar in that hallway. We've gotten incredible support from our employees and our customers and friends in general. Psychologically, it's all pretty tough to take, but with, a silver lining is that we're feeling very well supported by our community.
And we'll hit the notepad here for a few more headlines before we move on. Local resident 52-year-old Anthony DeLesney was killed in a flash flood Saturday after he rode his bicycle through several barricades. And Vermont Yankee busted an air conditioning unit, which was cooling their coolant injection and core spray systems, says Communications Director Larry Smith. The plant was forced to shut down after they were declared inoperable. They got as far as going down to 95% power before they corrected the problem. The problem was discovered at 1:40 a.m. Saturday morning and was corrected by 4:30 a.m. on Sunday. And with that, it's time to hit our calendar coverage. We'll start with the Free as Art Project, which is hosting an acoustic jam from 7 to 9 tonight at their Kids Place space on Elliott Street, just off of Main Street below Hotel Pharmacy. And moving on, Experienced Goods is having a store-wide sale Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where everything is marked down. They're trying to get rid of some inventory, prepare for the fall, and recover from the flood. Their new store hours are 10 to 5:30 every day except Sunday, which is noon to 5. So check that out again. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that store-wide sale going on. And lastly, for the calendar tonight, we've got a big premiere for BCTV this Sunday at the All Souls Church with the premiere of the documentary produced and directed by local videographer and BCTV producer Catherine Turnus, the documentary entitled Vision Quest, A New Chapter, a documentary I've had the pleasure of working on myself, which chronicles the history of the Unitarian Universalist presence in Brattleboro and the All Souls Church in West Brattleboro and their, shall we say, quest for a new vision. And with that, it's time for our BCTV Schedule Quick Glance, my daily opportunity to shamelessly plug what's coming up here on BCTV on both our Comcast cable channels 8 and 10. We'll start with Channel 8, and we'll start tomorrow with a 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. showing of It Takes a Village. BCTV Access Coordinator Frederick Noise's inspiring piece on the rebirth of the Brattleboro Farmers Market, struck down in the flood, but back up in action the following Saturday. Again, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. tomorrow on Channel 8. We'll see showings of that, and you can see a preview of it right here, right now. Next, for Channel 8, we have back-to-back showings of Peter Welsh's stop by Town Manager Barb Sundeg's office to talk about the flood. That show's at 3:55 p.m., and immediately after that, a back-to-back showing as well, again on Channel 8. And with that, it's time to hop 2 spots up the dial to our Education and Government sister channel, Channel 10, where we've got a 12:30 p.m. showing tomorrow of the Crime and Safety Forum town officials held at the American Legion. Some interesting numbers there, including presentations from the District Attorney's Office, Brattleboro Retreat, Brattleboro Police, and from Barb Sundeg herself, and then a 2:30 p.m. showing of yesterday's Brattleboro Select Board meeting.
I appreciate all the work that our town manager has done through this with staff and our employees. They have been absolutely amazing. It does take its toll on you physically and mentally, seeing the devastation, seeing people's lives turned upside down. I said it was like a sci-fi movie on Monday after the damage of the flood,
And that's a full lit, everybody, but before you switch back to the Kearsarge Chronicles, remember we'll be back tomorrow and Friday. We'll ramp up our calendar coverage. We'll get you all the latest headlines, BCTV schedule, quick glance, and more for BCTV. And 545 Live, I'm Roland Boyden. Good night, everybody.